Hollywood just made a movie about him, and the world is finally paying attention to one of the most powerful humans who ever lived. But here is what the movie won't show you. Mansa Musa didn't just have money, he had so much gold that when he traveled through Egypt in 1324, just passing through, he crashed the entire Egyptian economy. Not by invading it, not by going to war, just by spending. The gold he gave away as gifts caused inflation so severe that Egypt's economy took 12 years to recover. One man, passing through a country, accidentally destroyed its economy by being too rich. That is who we are talking about today. And that is just the beginning of the story. To understand Mansa Musa, you need to understand the world he was born into. It is the early 1300s. Europe is in its dark ages, plagued, poor, and politically fragmented. But in West Africa, something extraordinary is happening. The Mali Empire stretches across nearly 2 million square kilometers, larger than Western Europe, home to millions of people, controlling the most important resource in the medieval world. Gold. Half of the world's gold supply at that time came from Mali. The empire sat on top of the Bambouk and Bur gold fields, the richest deposits ever found in the ancient world. And Mansa Musa, the 10th emperor of Mali, controlled all of it. Economists who have studied his wealth place his net worth at approximately $400 billion in today's money. Some estimates go higher. The honest answer is he was so rich, modern mathematics struggles to calculate it accurately. But here is what made Mansa Musa different from simply a wealthy man. He built institutions. He built universities. The University of Timbuktu, Sankor Madrasa, attracted 25,000 students at a time when Oxford had fewer than 3,000. He built mosques. He built trade systems. He standardized currency. He created diplomatic relationships across North Africa, the Middle East, and beyond. Mansa Musa was not just rich. He was building civilization. In 1324, Mansa Musa made a journey that would change history. He decided to make the Hajj, the Islamic pilgrimage to Mecca. But Mansa Musa did not travel like a pilgrim. He traveled like an emperor. His caravan stretched across the desert for miles. 60,000 people, 12,000 servants, each carrying 4 pounds of gold bars, 80 camels, each carrying 300 pounds of gold dust. He arrived in Cairo and spent so freely giving gold to the poor, to merchants, to strangers, that he flooded the Egyptian market with more gold than it had seen in decades. Gold prices collapsed. Inflation hit. Merchants who had saved for years watched their savings lose value because one man passed through their city. The world had never seen anything like it, and it never would again. But here is where the story changes. When Mansa Musa returned to Mali, the cracks had begun. The empire was vast, too vast for one system of control. The leaders he left behind made decisions he would not have made. Border kingdoms sensed weakness and began to push. After Mansa Musa died in approximately 1337, the succession began to fail. His son, Magan. One was weak. Raiders attacked from the Sahara. Vassal states declared independence. The gold routes, the very arteries of the empire's wealth, were disrupted. Within 50 years of his death, the Mali Empire had fractured. Within 150 years, it had effectively ceased to exist. $400 billion in wealth. The greatest empire in African history. Gone, not because of one catastrophic battle, not because of a natural disaster, but because the system depended too heavily on one man. And no empire built on a man survives the man. Now look at today. Mali, the same land Mansa Musa ruled, is ranked among the 10 poorest nations on earth by GDP per capita. The gold is still there. Mali is still one of Africa's largest gold producers today, but the wealth leaves. It is always left, first through empire fragmentation, then through colonialism, now through multinational mining contracts that extract the gold and deposit the profits in foreign bank accounts. The pattern Mansa Musa's collapse revealed is not ancient history. It is today's headline. Look at the Congo, sitting on $24 trillion worth of mineral deposits, the most resource-rich nation on the planet, and one of the most unstable. Look at Nigeria, with oil wealth that has not translated into stable infrastructure, education, or institutions that outlast their leaders. Look at Venezuela, the largest proven oil reserves on Earth. Economic collapse so severe that millions fled the country. The pattern is always the same. Resource wealth without institutional strength is not an advantage. It is a target. Every empire, every nation, every person that has built wealth on resources alone, without systems, without institutions, without governance that outlasts individuals, has eventually watched that wealth follow the same path as Mansa Musa's gold. Out of the hands of the people who produced it, into the hands of whoever had the stronger system. So, what is the warning Mansa Musa left? Not that wealth is temporary. We already know that. The warning is more specific. Wealth without institutions is borrowed time. Leadership without succession is a countdown. Resources without systems are an invitation. The nations that will lead tomorrow in Africa, in Asia, in the global south will not be the ones that discover the most oil or mine the most gold. They will be the ones that build universities that outlast presidents, legal systems that protect citizens, not just rulers, economic structures that keep wealth circulating inside the nation rather than extracted from it. Mansa Musa proved it was possible. The University of Timbuktu proved it. The Gold Trade Network proved it. He built those things. The tragedy is not that he failed. The tragedy is that what he built was not strong enough to survive him. The question for today's generation is simple. Are you building something that survives you, or are you just accumulating what the next system will take? Mansa Musa's story did not end with him. It is still playing out in every resource-rich nation, struggling with the same pattern 700 years later. History did not disappear. It became today, and today is shaping tomorrow. If you want to see the next pattern before it catches you off guard, subscribe to Then.Now.Tomorrow. Every week, one story from history, one warning,